Nia. We're about to get into the Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 10, Episode 1. But before we get into it, don't y'all forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And come on over here and kick it with your girl. So we about to get right into it. But before we get into it, I am going to say that I am trying to get better with the timing of my videos. This week just has been a very busy week for me. My kids are athletes and they have literally had something going on every day this week. Like, it's crazy, but no excuses. I'm trying to get to it. So I gotta be better with my timing and just getting my videos out there. So y'all bear with me, please. But let's just get into it. So we started this episode off with Karen getting out of jail. If you've been following the show for a while, if you're on social media, then you know Karen went to jail because she had a 4th DUI charge. And she took this to court. I don't know why she took it to court. I don't know why her lawyers let her take this to court. But hey, it is what it is. She took it to court and she got, I believe, a year in jail. But she did 6 months. So fortunately for her, she didn't have to do the whole year. And she's back home present day 2025. But they rewind back to the ladies. Gizelle are getting all the ladies together because they all can't really believe that Karen is really gone and went to the big house. So they're getting together to kind of discuss what's going on. And I do feel like Gizelle was really genuine in this sense. We know Gizelle and Karen have a love-hate relationship, but they are actually friends and they do love each other. And I think Gizelle's concerns and stuff was really genuine. Gizelle, Ashley arrived first, as we know, and basically they kind of joking around like, you know, they hope that Karen isn't in general population and that they have an AARP section because Karen is older and going to jail is rough. So I got what they were saying. Some of y'all kind of took offense to it and thought they were being funny. But I do really think they were genuinely concerned about her. But they just trying to make light of the situation. I do appreciate, though, Gizelle being completely honest and saying that, you know, although she doesn't want to see Karen in jail and that's her girl and she loved Karen, that Karen did need to be held accountable because if this wouldn't have happened, there could have been a 5th DUI charge. So like I said earlier, I don't understand why her lawyers would take this to court. But in hindsight, maybe this was the best thing for her to take this into court and get a little time. So when she comes out, she's more, you know, aware of what she's doing and not making the same mistakes. Thankfully, she haven't really hurt anybody, but I do agree with Gizelle that she needed to learn her lesson. And, you know, it's just the time in her life. It's a 6 months. I know it may have been a long 6 months. I can't wait to see Karen back on our camera and see what she says about everything. But for now, I think this, you know, it's giving pretty much what it's supposed to give. Gizelle and Ashley are so engulfed on the conversation about Stacey, that they don't hear Wendy and Keiarna at the door. So they're outside, they arrive, they're at the door, so they just decide to politely walk in, and then Stacey shows up. So all the ladies basically express their concerns and their remorse and stuff for Karen. Wendy does say, you know, that she didn't feel like Karen was her friend. We know she said that last reunion. And she's just like, you know, Karen isn't my friend, but I wouldn't want to see her locked up. Gizelle is basically saying she can't believe that Karen's in jail. So they all, you know, share their remorse. Wendy did say that she can't believe they took her right in. So all of them are basically feeling sad for Karen and basically wishing her the best, praying for her and wanting her to get through this time. So then we get to talking about Stacey. Old Stacey and TJ, which it looked like Stacey maybe gonna do her big one this season because she kind of everybody's storyline. I know a lot of y'all don't like it. I'm not mad at it. It's a show. This is what we're here for. Do I think Stacey is lying a bit? Yeah, I do think Stacey is a liar. I think a lot of the housewives are liars. So y'all that's new here, by the way, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't when I say stuff about people, don't take it personal. I like to always say, I don't like to say I dislike these ladies because I don't know them on a personal level. I'm just giving my opinion about a show that come on once a week. That's it. Really don't care about their personal life for real. Just, giving my opinion on the show. So I do feel like Stacey is a bit of a liar. I do feel like she may have paid TJ, or it may have been something discussed to pay TJ. Like, I'm not sure, because if you was paying TJ, girl, the way his ass embarrassed you on this camera, that should never even been a thing, him getting paid from the jump, because he completely played in your face. That's kind of how I seen it. I still don't believe TJ played for our team, allegedly. Don't take that out of context, but whatever. He just wasn't my cup of tea. But, the ladies are adamant about them bringing it up at the reunion, and Stacey basically saying, I didn't say that and I didn't do this. All the ladies are basically grilling her. Stacey did make a little jab at Keiarna when she was like, oh, she's been vanilla, now she got a personality. Because Keiarna is a very pretty girl, but her personality is a little bit lackluster. Maybe I'm hoping that she brings a little more this season. Maybe she was a little off last season, because we know her man child. He did not want to be in them cameras, and he wanted them. So maybe that's why I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, back to Stacey. I do feel like Stacey is a little bit of a liar. Gizelle tells Stacey that, she needs to be accountable for her actions. But it's kind of classic coming from Gizelle, because we know Gizelle acted like she was with Jamal for real, and they wasn't together for a storyline. Like I say, I think all of their ass be lying and scrambling for storylines and, trying to secure their spot on the show. This is Gizelle's show, whether y'all want to like it or not, whether y'all like her or not. This is Gizelle's show. I feel like it's been her and Karen's show for a long time, but since Karen, is in her situation at the time, I feel like this is Gizelle's show, and she's just doing her job to carry it. Stacey is not liking what the girls are saying, rightfully so. I mean, if she want to say that she didn't do it, of course, you got to play your role. She gets up and leave. And so once she leave, Gizelle and Ashley let the ladies know, that they was out at an event, and that a prominent actress, and I'm like, oh, they don't want to say her name. And I'm thinking maybe they don't want to say her name because is it somebody who's really known for real? We need the actress on the damn show at this point, since you spilling tea. But I'm like, she got to be really known. She got to be a really known person that if they do say her name, we'll know exactly who it is. But they won't say her name, but they're saying that she's really close with TJ, like they are best friends or whatever, and that she showed Ashley and Gizelle legal documents of TJ suing Stacey. And Gizelle said that she read the documents herself, and she was trying to screenshot it, but she couldn't get the screenshots. And that the lady said that Stacey was supposed to pay TJ 50% of her Real Housewives of Potomac checks. 50% is outlandish and crazy as hell. If this is true, because I think Stacey is lying, allegedly. Maybe she's telling the truth, allegedly. I don't know. But if it is true, 50% is crazy as hell. Like, 50%. Now, if you're going to pay somebody, but 50%, and for a motherfucker that embarrassed you on the screen is insane. But hey, who knows? So Stacey leaves. The ladies can't believe it. They are like taken aback, like, oh, this is too much. This is way farther than what we thought. And Keiarna is like, oh, Stacey said that she didn't know, but apparently she do. And I'm just like, this is a hot ass mess. Another thing that I forgot to say is they tried to say Stacey was trying to be like Ashley because they got the same car. Whatever, child. Like, it's a mess. I just feel like it's funny how they are grilling her. And Ashley, let's be clear, you and Gizelle didn't have y'all moments. Ashley, you just got your divorce finalized from Michael weird ass. And we don't know what you and Michael had going on for real. We know that I felt like Ashley was Michael's beard, but who knows, baby. We know they got down. I know that. Allegedly. But Ashley, you didn't want to tell us a lot about Michael, which it could have been for legal reasons. We know Ashley stayed with Michael long enough to divorce his ass and get her payout. Which, I mean, hey, whatever he had y'all doing and stuff, you might have earned it, baby. She pushed out them kids because she said, Michael, you ain't fit to leave me with nothing. Like, and she finally got her due. But it's just like, don't y'all act like, you know, y'all haven't been there in the hot seat for doing the same shit. But at the same time, it's a show, so we know somebody got to be in the hot seat, and it's just Stacey's turn, unfortunately. So we see a few quick scenes, and Wendy is basically looking like she's about to get ready to renovate her house. She's there, I'm guessing, with like the designer, and she's telling her what she wants. They're doing good from Happy Eddie. I ain't mad at it. We see Gizelle and Cal out to eat, and we see Ashley getting rid of her wardrobe, which is probably a good thing. We pan on to Stacey and her husband, baby. Stacey done got back with her man. She done got back with her husband, y'all. And they're basically kind of dating each other to kind of see where it goes. They're like, they don't want to let their daughter know that they are back together because it's gonna confuse her, because they did just tell her that they were divorced. They said that Stacey said that the divorce was finalized while they were on vacation. They went on vacation for Christmas to basically, you know, so things could seem normal for Arabella, which is their daughter. I don't know. We find out later on that Ashley asked Stacey if she really divorced, because maybe I think Ashley looked it up and she couldn't find anything. I wouldn't be surprised if Wendy isn't divorced. I mean, not Wendy. That if Stacey isn't divorced for real. Her and her man, he looked like he just there. And Stacey is basically smitten. And, you know, he's agreeing that, you know, that they want to date, that they should date, and that they want to make sure things are right. At this point, girl, if you want to get back with your man, get back with your man. But at this point, I don't really know that they ever was completely divorced, or that they might did have a rough patch. But now I'm starting to say, I don't know if they had a rough patch for real. It's just, it's something about Stacey, which, don't get me wrong, I think Stacey is good TV. I think Stacey is a little delusional. I think she has the right amount of crazy. I think she can hang with the girl. So I don't mind seeing her on the TV screen. But I do think she be lying, and I'm not sure if her and this man is really divorced just yet. Allegedly. I know a lot of people were saying that, why would you divorce your husband and get back with him? I don't think that's uncommon. We seen Nene do it with Greg. I think it was another couple who got divorced and got back together. Like, it happens more than we think, because especially when they've been together for years and years, and they get out here and they see, baby, ain't shit out here for real, so let me go back home to where I'm comfortable, I'm safe. I know we have our issues, but I already know this person. I know what I'm dealing with. I can look past it. Now, if it was something really bad for the reason that they got divorced, then I would not recommend doubling back. But at the end of the day, if this is really a true storyline of them, you know, getting divorced and getting back together, I don't think it's anything wrong with it. Like I said, I have my doubts with Stacey. I like Stacey. I think she's good for the show, but I do side-eye Stacey, and it's just something I feel like I can't put my finger on it just yet with Stacey. Keiarna's mom comes over to her house. We know she moved into her own condo a few months ago because her and Greg decided to finally call it quits. But unfortunately, she didn't let Greg go for real, because he started missing her, and he called her and asked her if she wanted to talk in Jamaica, and of course she said yes. So now they are back together on the low, but she's basically like, you know, I'm just working on us to be happy as a couple. So it seems like she didn't let the whole marriage and stuff thing go, and she's just wanting to go with the flow with him. I did appreciate Keiarna's mama in this scene because she told her the truth. Keiarna is such a beautiful woman. Her mother as well. They're both very pretty. And she basically told Keiarna, like, you're chasing behind Greg, but you need to let him go. I don't feel like he's good for you. Her family doesn't like Greg. They show a scene of her and her mother and brother out together, and when she brought up Greg, they both kind of gave each other this look like, we don't fuck with him. And me personally, just watching Greg, he don't like to be on camera. Looking at Greg and looking at Keiarna, I know it's not all about looks, but I always felt like she was literally out of his league, too good for him type shit. He may got it, and that may be what Keiarna is, you know, she's focused on the wrong thing, but I feel like it's not gonna work. I feel like you can do way better, Keiarna, like, seriously. I don't know I guess, you know, as women, sometimes when we don't have stuff by a certain age, we feel like we have to rush and settle for whatever. I feel like Keiarna is settling right now with Greg because he's basically told her what it was. He basically showed his ass on this camera last season. And it's like, girl, like, I just think she should take the mama advice and do herself the due diligence of getting her together, healing from that situation, and getting out here enjoying life and meeting somebody who you will most likely really be attracted to. Because I don't want to say she wasn't attracted to Greg, because that's allegedly, I don't, you know, that's not my place. But like I always say, I always felt like she was out of his league. We see Wendy and her family. Wendy has a beautiful family, and I like seeing, you know, this dynamic. We learned that Eddie is about to get ready to go out of town to New Jersey because he's expanding Happy Eddie. It's in 3 states now. So kudos to Eddie and Wendy. Like, I love to see it. I love to see, you know, people expanding their businesses and doing their thing. So kudos on that part. And basically, they are excited. You know, Wendy does let us know that with having Happy Eddie, it's opened up doors for them not to be so dependent on certain projects. So basically, they can kind of chill and they ain't got to be pressed for stuff because the money is there with Happy Eddie. It's doing pretty good. So I like to hear that. That she asked the babies what do they want to be when they grow up. And the daughter is like, she want to be a doctor. And Wendy is like, well, like mom, right? And baby, when I say kids can be your biggest damn haters, son said, well, mom is not a real doctor. Boy, don't you ever play with Dr. Wendy, okay? She got a doctoral degree, baby. But he's looking at it because she's not a medical doctor or like a dentist or something. I'm pretty sure that's the, you know, where he's coming from. But baby, put some respect on your mama name. And the other child is like, ain't Chick-fil-A a good, you know, business? Baby, if you want, you can franchise Chick-fil-A, but just working at Chick-fil-A all your life ain't gonna cut it, baby. But I thought this scene was good. It's funny. Wendy is saying how Eddie is inspiring her, and so I like to see this. This was a good dynamic. So we see Ashley and Stacey meeting up they meeting at a boutique for Ashley's second bloom. Stacey basically says that she doesn't think that a divorce party should ever be had. Ashley is just like, I'm happy. I'm ready to have my party. I don't think it's anything wrong with a divorce party. Hell, me, celebrate whatever you want to celebrate, baby. We get only one life. So if you want to have a divorce party, by any means, do your damn thing. So we know Ashley gets the grilling Stacey. And I know a lot of y'all are like, y'all don't like Ashley, so y'all don't like her in this role. I'm not mad at this role. I'm not. Like, they all been grilled. So, hey, it's just Stacey's turn. That's how I'm looking at it. Like I said earlier, I do feel like Stacey's lying, allegedly. And really why I say this, too, when Ashley said whoever name that it was, Stacey's face, her face kind of said it all, but she had to quickly get back in the game and Stacey is a little delusional, but I like her level of delusional. It makes for great entertainment. I don't know if it's true. Allegedly, we gonna keep saying that. But if they are Googling her in the database for a divorce and that's not coming up, then And she's like, well, why Ashley worried about me? True, why is Ashley worried about you? Why is she? But we know this is a show and she gotta do what she gotta do. So Ashley, I'm not mad at it. Y'all can like Ashley has not always been my favorite person. She like I side eye, she do shit that I don't like. But this is a show. I do feel like Stacey is funny though. I do feel like Stacey is funny as hell when she said that Ashley don't need to be Googling her. She needs to be Googling voice lessons. Because we know Ashley cannot sing. But I do feel like it's some truth in this somewhere. We know they saying Stacey breast stinks. Like, it's a mess. It's just a whole bunch of mess. But like I said, I like Stacey's level of delusional. I do feel like Stacey's a bit of a liar. But we just gonna roll with it. And I'm not like pro Ashley, so don't get in my comments about Ashley this and Ashley that and Ashley lied when she was with Michael. We know all of this. We know. But it's a show and it's just gonna keep going. So let's go. We see Gizelle around this house doing nothing, trying to find herself something to do. We know all three girls are off at college and she's there by herself. It's been said that she allegedly has a man, but I don't think she wants to talk about that on the show. So she just around this house just doing anything because she don't have nothing to do for real now that the babies are gone off to college. Gizelle FaceTime Ashley, and basically Ashley is letting her know that she sent Stacey a private, well, I guess a special invitation. And she doesn't know if Stacey's coming because of what happened at Gizelle's house and what just happened when they was out shopping for dresses. She laced Gizelle up on Stacey not being a divorce. So Gizelle is like, oh, she's a liar. She tells Gizelle that Ashley is saying that the person is imaginary, that the person that told them this information and that showed them the documents is an imaginary person. And so Gizelle is like, oh no, she's not going to make it seem like we are liars when she's a liar. And they still basically on, we got to hold Stacey accountable. That's what they on. So we meet the new one of the new housewives, and her name is Angel. We learned that she's married to a retired NFL player. I believe she have 2 children, a girl and a boy. They own Wonderland. I think it's like a nature park where they focus on like mental health and you can do a lot of stuff there. Is what I'm getting out of it. She said that, you know, her dad helped her with her mother's passing, so that's kind of why she turned it into a business. She said that they own it in Colorado because that's where they were originally staying, because that's who her husband was signed to before he, you know, got out the NFL. So they're opening one now in Maryland. And yeah, she's back home. We learned that her and Keiarna have been friends for years. They're best friends. They've been friends, I think Keiarna said, since they were 18. So they are very acquainted. And Angel, she seems like she's going to be cool. We find out that she does know Wendy, that they actually went to school together, but Wendy is a few years older than Angel. So she's like, I know Wendy, but I don't know Wendy. So basically kind of one of those situations where it's like, I know of her, I've seen her around, maybe have ran across to her and spoke time after, you know, or two, but I don't really know her. I do know that she said that Wendy was basically always ambitious, which is, you know, ain't nothing wrong with that. She said that she used to be at the school dressed up in her suits and stuff. And this is where we find out that Kay has an issue with Wendy. She's feeling like Wendy is being passive aggressive and not really being her friend. And after that, basically, Keiarna just laced her up on each person. She said that she know Ashley. Ashley was a bottle girl, which, well, I think we all could see that, you know, Ashley. I think that's how she met Michael as. So, nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I think I'm going to like Angel so far from what we know about her. One thing that I can appreciate about Angel just from, you know, these few scenes, and she's a pretty girl, but one thing I can appreciate about her is telling Keiarna that she's ready to meet the ladies so she can form her own opinions about the ladies. I like that because I feel like a lot of these women come on this show and they have preconceived notions, especially if they watch the show or if they are closer to other people, and they just come in and they already have a vendetta or don't like people, and it be drama from shit that really shouldn't be an issue. So I appreciate her saying that she wants to get to know the ladies for herself and form her own opinions, because that's how I am. Like, I know when you friends with somebody and if they got real beef, then that's different. Like, if they did some shit to like really snake you out, I feel like that's different with you, because at that point that's a character flaw. But if it's just some people, I don't know, y'all might have had a little minor interaction and it wasn't, everybody don't mesh together. So I appreciated her just wanting to get to know people for herself. Gizelle introduced the second new housewife, and her name is Tia. We learned that she has Nigerian roots and that her family comes from royalty back in Nigeria, but she's from London. And she's a high-end realtor, and I'm like, okay, I want to see what she's about. Let's see how Wendy act, because we know when Nneka came on here, Wendy didn't like that. She didn't like sharing the spotlight with another person that was from Africa or something. Like, she did not like that. So we're gonna see how Wendy is gonna act towards her. We didn't really learn about a lot about her this episode. I'm pretty sure we'll pick back up on her next episode. But so far, she seems cool. Keiarna, she goes and sit down and while Wendy and Gizelle is in mid-conversation, and she kind of interrupts she did interrupt the conversation, and she's basically like, oh, Wendy, you don't see me. I'm like, Keiarna, you literally came, interrupted that conversation, sit down, and you want her to speak to you. Like, you want her to acknowledge you. I feel like Keiarna is looking for a storyline. Now, let me just say this. At first, I was like, when I first seen it, I was like, okay, well, maybe Wendy was being shady, because y'all don't hate me for this, but like I said, I don't like to say I dislike the ladies, but I do feel like Wendy can be a little shady. Wendy can be very elitist. I do feel like that. But in this situation, I do feel like I'm on Wendy's side, because Keiarna, now, she could have told you that she was going to be at the event. I do agree that, like, it was nothing wrong with saying, hey, I will be at the event. Wendy, I do get Wendy's reasoning, though, because she's saying, like, oh, you're saying something that you did. I don't want to come back and tell you, oh, well, I'm going to be speaking at the event to kind of take away your moment. Also, if I'm on a panel and I'm speaking, I'm basically doing, like, my job or whatever, just because you walk in, I'm not going to be like, hey, Keiarna girl, I'm on a panel. Like, we going to keep it cute. Now, Keiarna did say that when they got on the red carpet, the first thing that Wendy asked her was, did she do her own makeup? Now, that was shady. No, that was shady. I kind of wish Wendy would have kind of just apologize and we could have been done with this, left it alone. But I do understand I'm not apologizing for shit that I didn't do for real. Maybe it's one of those things where, you know how when you know the tension and stuff between us, or how I feel, it's like it's kind of off, so you know something is wrong if that's your friend. Like, if you with a friend and you feel like they kind of acting funny or something, you know that they are acting funny, so anything that they do, any little thing that they do start to annoy you. Maybe that's what it is with Keiarna. What I will say, though, is that I know a lot of y'all go up for Wendy and a lot of y'all like Wendy, and it's nothing wrong with that. I feel like Wendy is cool. But like I said previously, I do feel like Wendy can come out very arrogant. I do feel like Wendy has an elitist attitude. And she can kind of be like, she one of them people where y'all will be cool today, and then you do one little thing and she don't like you, or she never liked you for real, and she gonna play in your face a little bit. I do get that from Wendy. I've always gotten it from her since she's been on the show. I know a lot of y'all don't like her because y'all said the situation was colorist and stuff. I'm not here to argue that or debate that, but I do, like I've said before, I do feel like Wendy has a very elitist attitude. She do kind of come off as like she thinks she's better than people. And that's why I think she's always talking about her accolades, because she feel like that put her above people. I kind of wonder if that's why Eddie family didn't deal with her and her family, her and her mother and stuff, because of that dynamic, because that I feel like that's how she comes off. I don't know how people don't see it, but I'm not here to debate that. That's what I see. That's what I've observed since she's been on the show. I just don't see how people, I know a lot of y'all was like they didn't like her because she was of a darker skin tone, and they might have had some type of truth to it. We're not gonna get into that, like I said, but I also do feel like it's because of Wendy's attitude too. I'm lucky. But in this situation here with Keiarna, I will say that Wendy not wrong. If what Wendy is saying, well, Keiarna didn't debunk what she was saying. She agreed to it. So I don't feel like she's wrong in this sense, because if I'm on a panel, just because you walk in and we cool, I'm not fit to be screaming like, Keiarna girl, hey girl, I'm on a panel. I'm being productive and I'm doing my job. So they are talking, and basically they're saying that Stacey's breath stinks. I really didn't like this, because I'm like, but then everybody's saying it. Even Angel was like, she smelled it. I'm like, Angel. Gizelle is saying that she felt like Stacey had something from the lower pits of her stomach. I'm like, everybody's saying this. I hope y'all not hazing her. I know a lot of y'all are saying, oh, Gizelle and Ashley's ganging up on Stacey. I feel like everybody have their turn. It's just Stacey's turn, unfortunately. I'm here for Stacey though. I like Stacey's level of delusion. If she's lying, we shall find out. Maybe, hopefully, allegedly. I don't know. Really want to see. We'll see. So far, I feel like this episode was pretty good. Wasn't bad. We know Karen won't be here. I don't feel like Karen's presence was really missed, because we've been talking about her. We know she's going to be talked about a lot. I do feel, I keep saying, I like Stacey's level of delusion, because Stacey was like she had been on TV. She didn't just do none of this to get on TV, and then we know Stacey only been on QVC. Girl, who really watching QVC except for the older ladies? You know, like, it may get you like somebody a couple times in the night, but be for real, Stacey. But I like I said, I'm liking Stacey. Stacey, it's just your turn. This is just part of the game. This happens on every Housewives show. I feel like y'all be going overboard, like, oh, Ashley, shit, Micah humiliated Ashley enough for the rest of her time on the damn show. Because Micah was just out here doing whatever the hell he wanted. But I am ready to see what it's going to give. I feel like Ashley and Stacey are they just trying to make their marks. They just trying to keep their check. So, Stacey, come on with it, girl. I don't think Stacey's a pushover. I think she's coming. And yeah, I think this is going to be a good season. Let me know what y'all think. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all later. Bye, y'all.